Hello everyone and welcome to the sideboard at the Los Angeles Standard Open. I'm here with our Acquisitions Assistant Manager, Wes Wise. Wes, what are you doing at the event today?
Buying Magic cards.
Magic cards, really?
That's what I did a lot of.
It's different. So we're going to spend a little bit of time with Wes here, who's been at the sales booth all day, discussing just what's been selling and especially what cards during rotation might be worthwhile hanging on to, might be worthwhile getting rid of, that kind of a thing. So let's just kick it off with the sales booth information.
Sure.
3 cards that we sold pretty close to out of have been Dismember, Gutshot, and Knight of Glory. You might be surprised by a few things. One, the Dismembers and Gutshots are obviously cards that are rotating soon, but players got to play. And 2, all of these are uncommons.
Right. One of the biggest things about uncommon stuff like that, most Magic players, they just don't want to look for cards. Let's be serious. So there's well, I could just dig through this giant box of cards that all my stuff gets thrown into, or I could just go spend $1 and get another one. And so we actually always run out of a lot of quarter, stuff like that, like Avacyn Pilgrim, stuff like that. We're just always out of them because people just keep buying them. That's one of the reasons and they're popular.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of room for just to be lazy, I guess.
Gutshots have been selling out pretty consistently for the last several months. I recall.
Yeah.
Another big one has been Entreat the Angels, which is a whole other end of the spectrum, mythic rare, and the card's seeing play in multiple formats, especially during an open series weekend between Miracles and some standard decks. Not good ones, but
that was just the card of the day, I guess. We're bound to run out of some stuff. We have
the most interesting one that I saw was Spellskite.
Yeah.
Spellskite, new Phyrexia rare, so also rotating. But Spellskite's actually in a nice spot right now. It's really good against Infect, obviously, because you can just free roll redirecting all their pump spells so they don't kill you. But it's also pretty handy against zombies, just as a 2-mana 0/4 wall that turns off Tragic Slip and Brimstone Volleying Pillar Flame.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see Spellskite picking up both at the booth and in the tournament side. I've seen a lot of Delver players boarding their Spellskites. And he carries a Runechanter's Pike just like everybody else. Very, very well. So I'm going to go ahead and let Wes take over to talk to you about cards you should hang on to. He knows a lot more about this stuff than me. I'm not so good at the cards and the hanging on to and the tradings.
As far as during rotation, if you're actually worried about protecting yourself during rotation, what I did personally is as soon as the second set of the block came out, I would ship the cards I wanted to get rid of then. That's whenever people still are trying to, I would only keep what I needed to play in decks. Now it's a little bit too late if you're just trying to protect yourself. Most of the dealers and everybody they've caught on. They're paying attention now. So my general rule of thumb on stuff like that is just if it's below 50 cents and I think I'm ever going to use it, I'm probably just going to keep it. Sure. If I think I'm ever going to use it at all, all the Scars lands, stuff like that, I just like to have them. They might reprint them 2 blocks from now, and you're okay, cool. It's just one less thing to have to get. And then you can always keep things like Birthing Pods, Batter Skulls, things that are really playable in other formats.
Yeah.
They're always going to be good for trade. They're always going to be worth something. And just while they're really low right now, it doesn't mean that they're not going to go back up, and they're definitely going to retain their value. So there's no point in selling them now unless you just have to have the $5 or whatever.
Especially when they have to be basically at their lowest price point over these months.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's from an acquisitions assistant manager telling you which cards you should not be selling him. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, whenever you asked me to do that, that did cross my mind. I was well, he wants me to talk about what not to sell me.
All right. We'll take them. We're Star City Games.
We're always
we'll buy
buying
everything.
Exactly.
So we're going to go ahead and throw to a break, and then we'll be back with more Cedric and Patrick Chapin commenting on one of the rounds of the Standard Open. I think it's 5.
4, 5,
5 something. 5. That sounds right. So we're going to go with 5. Yeah. See you guys then.
On September 21st through the 23rd, the StarCityGames.com Open Series featuring the Invitational comes to Atlanta, Georgia, and this event is going to be huge. We're talking hundreds of players, the StarCityGames.com Invitational with $75,000 in prizes, a Standard Open with $10,000 in prizes, a Legacy Open with $10,000 in prizes, 3 Draft Opens with